Hang on, start recording. There we go. Hello, who's this?
What do you think it is?
Oh, we get a lot of shots. Everybody come to their net. We just have to get more and more pucks to their net.
What were you saying about putting pucks on net?
Continue to put pucks on net.
Well, that's the key. We got to get the puck on net.
Pucks on net.
He's got that nick for the net too. He just throws puck on net.
It was nice to get pucks on net.
Pucks on net and driving and making it a hard night on him.
Live on tape from Geeta's apartment, her palatial estate on the 23rd floor. This is Pucks on Net, a Vancouver hockey podcast that doesn't talk about fantasy or fancy stats. It's a very interesting time in hockey. Not so much so in Vancouver, but we're here. I got Geeta, you can hear me.
I can hear you loud and clear, Ryan.
Thank you. And we got PMAC on Skype, but as I do this slow fade, we won't be able to hear him. So we'll just do this. And so now Paul won't be able to talk, but now he will. PMAC, are you there?
Maybe I don't want to talk.
Are you just sitting in bed and pouting?
I am seriously curled up in bed with a big cup of tea.
Are you upset about, are you mourning Gerard Gallant?
Gallant.
I'm mourning not being able to be there in person with you guys and have noodle box with Ryan tonight.
It's a dark time for us. We're all in mourning.
We are mourning, yeah. We all love Gerard Gallant, that's right. Well, you know, it's a good thing you didn't get noodle box this time because remember a couple times ago you might have gotten food poisoning.
It's cool. Let's not. We like noodle box.
Oh yeah, we want them to sponsor the podcast.
Yeah.
We've gone back, so
Yeah, we got nothing bad to say about them.
No, nothing would deter us from our noodle box.
just that one time.
We're pandering this week, Paul. I don't know if you saw on Twitter, but there's a nice photo of Geeta enjoying a glass of Apothic Red and enjoying Brazzers on the iPad. On
the old iPad
Ow.
and watching. Is Apple sponsoring us now?
Yeah, they should be.
Brought to you by Steve Jobs.
Rest in peace, baby. All right, so PMAC, what do you? Gerard Gallant was fired in Florida. Everybody's freaking out. The old boys are humming and hawing and don't believe what they see, and the fancier folks, they're kind of silent too. And I just want to get your take on it before we go into the semantics of it all.
I mean, what's the theory is that he didn't buy into the fancy stats as much as other members of the organization, so...
That's exactly what I heard too, that the ownership and the bench staff weren't quite on the same page.
Yeah, they... I remember the last thing I heard was Gerard Gallant's like, oh, we need to get tougher. We need to have a tougher team, and I guess they don't think that.
Well, if you got an organizational theory that you're going to try and follow to a Stanley Cup, you follow that and you staff your team with people who will carry out that vision. And if he wasn't on board, they should have let him go a long time ago. But maybe I guess they thought they could make it work. And it's not like they were doing that badly and they've had injuries.
No, because this team's only 2 points out of the playoffs.
Yeah, they're above 500.
And if you compare them to some West Coast teams like directly, cross-continent, they're doing very well.
Well, expectations for the Panthers and the Canucks were very different going into the season, I think, as well.
Right.
So
They mentioned something about inconsistent play, and like where the Canucks are just not a good team. Like they're just they're not that good. They're not skilled.
Well, the Canucks are like all on the injured reserve right now, anyway, right?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you could play a game of is this a Utica Comet call up or I don't know some guy that works in the plumbers union because
that was quite the finish to the Comets Avalanche game the other night, huh?
That was a great game. I didn't really watch it, but it seemed exciting. And I remember Jerome McKinley was a hockey player. Did you guys know that?
Wait, he plays for the Avalanche?
He plays for the Colorado Avalanche.
I lost track of him somewhere between Boston and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I always love that when I thought
he retired and he was at the closing of Rexall. Like, I thought he was crying. I get them all confused.
No, he's not.
He's from Edmonton, right?
No, Kamloops?
He
was a Blazer. I don't know where he...
I heard I heard this great we're getting a little sidetracked, but I want to tell this great story. I think it was from the Bobcast. And he was saying how when the Blazers won the Memorial Cup in '95, the team partied all night long.
Right.
And They partied all night, and when they woke up in the morning, Jerome Iginla wasn't there, and they didn't well, where the hell is Jerome Iginla?
Right.
And he was actually called up to the Flames for a playoff game that night. So he partied all night long, left Kamloops, went to Calgary, and had a goal and an assist in a playoff game.
Hey, that sounds like your Pucks on Net team. We would do the same thing.
What, that we can drink anybody under the table and then go play for the Flames?
And show up in podcast, I meant. That's our parallel.
I think we can, because one of my favorite episodes was being hung over after the gold medal game in Sochi.
That's right. We were up all night. Mm-hmm. It was like an Olympic birthday for one of us. And we all dragged our asses out of something or other and shut up and did a podcast, and a good one.
It was good. Well, actually,
I didn't do any of that, so I don't know if I'm
You were
reliable.
still on the street at that time.
Yeah, you were still at a payphone giving us scoops. Dave's on the way, which is good, and I don't even think, did we do plugs? Did we do cause, or was that?
No, we haven't caught yet.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for joining
Do
us.
it.
Wherever you got us from. We're in most places. And make sure you follow us on Twitter at PucksNetCA or PucksNetCa. Caw! Hey, PMAC, want to give me a caw?
No.
So
Sticking to your guns.
the interesting thing, there's nothing wrong with the Panthers firing a coach.
Right.
But there's a lot of there's rumors going on that they were going to fire him by December regardless.
Yeah.
And they just picked up. I'm like, what?
Random loss, and they're like, this one, it's not too far from home.
Well,
you don't need your stuff.
They're in North Carolina. Yeah, their stuff.
It's like, what, an hour flight, if that, back to Sunrise?
Yeah, it's not too far, and it's a really short cab ride to the airport, because that's what's making the rounds. Is that they is Mike Kelly, assistant coach, and Gerard Gallant, head coach, fired, hailing a cab.
Oh,
and
jeez.
Carolina Hurricane staff helping them with their bags into the car. But apparently word's gone out that they chartered a car for them, but the cab arrived first.
Oh, okay.
And now new GM, Tim Rowe, he said that they will be reimbursed for their cab ride to the airport. So
Because he was no longer employed by the Panthers organization?
if he's no longer employed, they should not cover his travel expenses.
Right.
Hey, PMAC, I got a question for
Well, he's the new GM. He doesn't quite know procedure.
No, he's already the new GM, and he's the head coach.
Now
He's everything.
Yeah. Well, I heard this Gallant fellow might be destined for another West Coast team.
Yeah, the not Las Vegas Golden Knights is the prime runner. All right, PMAC, we'll let you go now that Dave has entered off the street. So feel better, drink that tea, and just get some rest.
We'll see you next week for Noodlebox.
Okay, bye, guys.
What a sad little camper. We'll let Dave enter. Let's see if Dave remembers.
Hey, kids, I'm talking crusty.
How about now?
Do you want, just in case, I have a work emergency again, should we just do some quick sound?
Look, it's Jason Spezza.
Should we just do some quick soundbite recordings so I pretend like I was here?
Fancy stats.
Fancy
Blah!
stuff. Nazem Kadri's a dick. I'm angry.
Hey, I heard Nazem Kadri is being considered to be captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. What do you think of that?
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I'm in a cantankerous mood, and that's not helping.
Yeah, but who else are you going to stick that C on? Schlossnikov?
Schlossnikov could be the Morgan Riley. There you go. You want my real answer? That guy's got captain material written all over him.
You can't put the C on Austin next year?
Because he'll be like, well, I think we should be...
He would wear a K and on the wrong side like they do over in Europe where he was playing in Switzerland.
Dave, do you remember the...
I think that Frederick Anderson should be the captain of the Toronto.
Maybe they should just go a season without him.
Thank you so much for getting it in and getting onto the show.
It's all happening. I've got about 20 minutes. Let's make it count.
That's cool.
We've been pandering for pornography and wine before you got here on Twitter, looking for sponsors.
That's like most nights here.
Yeah.
No, that's par for the course.
Do you remember Mark Jankowski?
Yes, the sportscaster.
No, the high school kid the Flames drafted.
That's JJ.
Oh yes, yeah, Mark Jankowski. Yeah, that's right. Whatever happened to Mark Jankowski?
He had his NHL debut tonight.
With the Montreal Canadiens?
They drafted him out of high school hockey in Quebec.
Yeah, and why this hits close to home is it was Doug Wisebrow's. You got to get this kid. You got to get this kid.
Doug Risebrow.
Current current
Not
Canuck.
Wisebrow.
Well, was it a wise decision?
Well, they've been kind of laughing and doubting this for years because he was ranked like 41st.
He played one more game in the NHL than I thought he would.
Oh, I thought he was a regular Adam Banks coming out of high school.
He wishes. They drafted him 21st overall. He was supposed to go in the second, maybe third round.
Okay.
And yeah, this is the first time I've ever seen somebody drafted out of high school hockey.
It's right off the reservation.
The last time it happened was a kid named Tom Barrasso was drafted right out of
Really?
Who turned out just fine.
He made the NHL his first year and won the Calder Trophy
It works out well.
and the Vezina Trophy.
In the NBA, Kobe Bryant was like out of high school.
That's true.
Yeah.
And he played a lot of his high school basketball in Italy because he was an Army brat.
Quebec,
Who?
Italy.
Kobe Bryant?
Kobe
Yeah.
Bryant.
Really? I didn't know that.
He did fine in Italy, but he should have stayed the hell out of Colorado.
Anyway, so Wisebrow, who's the how do you pronounce it?
Well, there was Doug Risebrow, but if there's a Wise, he's out of the game. If there's a Wisebrow, there's a Wisebrow.
So
anyway, some guy.
It was he bugged Jay Feaster to draft
Okay.
this guy, and everybody was like, "What the hell are they doing?"
Yeah.
And now he works for the Canucks. I think he's assistant GM or he's something.
Okay.
And so he made his debut after playing college ball, and he was playing tonight with Hunter Shinkarik.
Yeah.
He was playing with Matthew Tkachuk, who the Canucks should have drafted.
Right.
And there were a lot of ties going into
I-
this Flames Islanders game.
Massive disagree on the should have drafted,
Oh, no, I'm not saying they should have drafted him either.
but the media probably.
Oh, look, it's Penny's brother. He just scored.
We talked about this off the air a while back, but Matthew Tkachuk is what Jake Virtanen is supposed to be.
A Utica Comet?
No, a big-bodied, fast-skating guy who's contributing offensively.
Yeah.
But Ole Ulevi is still the better pick
Okay.
in my mind, because top pairing defenseman, as we've seen this year, like that's what every general manager wants. That's what every time the Canucks or any other team gets close to making a trade,
Yeah.
that's what's asked for, because you have to grow them yourself. You cannot acquire them. You can go out and pick up a Matthew Tkachuk. I could get you a 20-goal scoring winger off the waiver wire, or not the waiver wire.
Radim
but-
Barbata.
Yeah,
Before
yeah.
it's all said and done, Matthew Tkachuk may be a Canuck.
Because look at the guys who are going to play in the top four that are on the Canucks. Where'd they come from? They were all drafted by Vancouver. Tanev, Edler, Stetcher, Hutton. We tried to trade for a couple, didn't really work out. Lucas Pisa, he gets top four money, he ain't top four.
Right.
Eric Goodbranson, ugh. Boy,
Good face.
boy is he handsome.
Did you just come from Florida with that review of Eric Goodbranson?
No, but a guy from Carolina helped me get my bags. Did anybody see that?
Oh, we were just talking about this. I've
that
learned
was
now.
cold as fucking ice.
I've learned now.
It was Gallant.
Jared Gallant,
I've learned
future coach of the Vegas
Golden Bears.
Vegas grab 'em by the pussies. Is that what they're called?
Yeah,
or
something like that.
Yeah.
Something about a wall.
Yeah.
I learned.
What?
I learned that they chartered a car for him, and so it wasn't as callous and as cold. But they're firing anybody.
They called the Uber. They went with the.
They called a car, a cab arrived. Basically, he would have gotten on a bus if it had come first.
Yeah.
He wanted out of there.
if you don't have to be in Raleigh, North Carolina, you don't stay in Raleigh,
No.
North Carolina.
no, you don't want to be in North Kakalaki.
No.
It was Vinny Viola is the newish owner of the Caps.
Okay.
Oh, the Panthers.
Panthers.
Yeah, and they're basically firing anybody.
He was attached to the old regime.
Yeah, I don't know why they had Dale Talon gets so much
Mike
little.
Keenan's going to coach this team, isn't he?
Well, he's the last guy to have a GM and head coach.
Aw, you asked that question. I just nailed it.
So the new guy, Tom Rowe, is the GM and the coach.
Yeah.
Because, I found, at work right now, I'm doing 2 jobs.
Yeah.
And it's going really well.
I think.
Nothing's falling through the cracks. Nothing at all. Exactly. Everything falls apart when you try to do too much. You'll end up in Magnitogorsk, coaching in minus 60-degree weather with Sportsnet following you around. Look, Mike Keenan.
They trade Eric Goodbranson, who, from what I can find, was a great guy in the locker room, good teammate. Everybody liked him.
Yep.
They trade him because he doesn't fit into the new mold.
Right.
Gerard Gallant, from all accounts, was loved by the players. They
Yeah.
really liked him. He was a good coach, and he didn't fit into the mold, and so
Yeah.
they let him go.
He's not young, and he's a little dumpy looking. And I say that with, you know what I mean?
Is it because we missed a blog post or something, and that kind of tipped us off to his firing?
He doesn't. Gallant doesn't fit the mold of the sexy Corsi coach.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But aren't bloggers running that team?
Yes. Well, yeah. Like some guy, from his basement now is coaching the team with a fucking spreadsheet.
Well,
That's how it works.
Yeah.
No, but here's the thing. It's more than that, though. It's more than your knowledge of Gantt charts and cool formulas.
Don't make up words.
You also have to look the part. You have to be a young millennial who looks good in a thin man's suit.
This is still the NHL, and there aren't millennials in their black plastic rimmed glasses standing behind benches just yet.
Yeah, but they're in the front office running the show. Jonathan Chayaka.
Well,
he's a terrible interview, by the way.
He was very particular.
The courses stats, my Gantt charts.
I think there's just there needs to be that.
Shut up, Kyle Dubas.
There needs to be the even mix of both. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with the fancy stats,
Right.
but if you're gonna go that full direction like they are in Florida or
Yeah.
in Tampa or
Yeah.
sorry in
So
Arizona,
So Yager's going to get traded, do you think?
he only has 3 goals this year. It wouldn't surprise me.
But
Who's leading that team?
Yager, even if he doesn't score, even if he's done as an offensive player and this is his last year,
Yeah.
by all accounts,
Yeah.
he is the glue that holds that team together.
But
Yeah.
and what if
That's an intangible. You don't have to play him. I'm not saying you have to play top 6 and put him on the power play. He can go down to your 4th line and then come out in the shootout to help you get wins. But you can't. He really is there's very few players in this league who are the heart and soul of their teams, and Jaromir Jagr is the heart and soul of the Florida Panthers.
And what happens if
Is he the heart and soul of the NHL?
He might know he's the conscious of the NHL.
what happens if
He keeps us honest and he keeps us interested.
what happens if this heart and soul, everybody's favorite teammate gets booted out of town because he didn't fit into the mold and he's not playing the game they want? How does the team react to that?
Trade the line from Slapshot. Trade me right fucking now.
I'm starting to think that because they're trading all these guys that were, had those intangibles of being a great teammate, and these aren't robots. These aren't baseball players.
Well, look what they're doing right now without these guys, without Goodbranson and without other people that they've moved out from last year's team.
What are they doing? Because this is a team that's 2 points out of the playoffs.
They're 11-10-1.
And this was a team that everybody was saying might challenge for the division.
Are they in a
this year.
shitty division?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
There's 2 also rans in that division.
Gotcha.
you got Tampa Bay, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
They're down a leg, which is too bad.
That's cool.
But things at least aren't clotted up this year. But Steve Yzerman runs a tight ship. But yeah, you got Carolina. They're an automatic win, right? And there's someone else. And who else is in that division?
It's Washington,
Washington,
Tampa,
bunch of guys.
Anyway,
Atlanta.
Yeah, the Thrash. But yeah, there's some shitty teams in there for sure, and they're hanging around.
Right.
But there's something I really thought I had high hopes for that team. I thought they were going to be quite good.
Well,
they're not.
we talked about this last year. I absolutely love the players that have been drafted and the players that have been developed. I mean, Ekblad and Jonathan Huberdeau, who really became that next level. And I mean, Marchessault, who is he's
Okay, wait. Do we think the Panthers are going to collapse now, or do we think they may pick up?
You don't know.
I mean, people always turn things around right after a coaching change.
Do they?
Typically?
I think they're going to collapse.
Well, because I was watching hockey.
And I don't think they're done. I think they're going to make some more moves.
Well, look who they're playing Chicago tomorrow.
Right.
And you're going to have a guy make his NHL coaching debut with a team that might not necessarily agree with the coaching decision.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. Teams will have a bounce back when they're like, oh, thank God that guy's gone.
Yeah, Colby Armstrong made a great point because he was playing with the Leafs when they fired Ronnie Wilson.
And they were like, oh, thank God that guy's gone.
But, I mean, they like this guy. He's a good coach. And we're all like, okay, Florida is doing a lot of very good things. They have a lot of injuries, and they got a good coach and a good young team. They're just weathering the storm.
Yeah, ride it out.
them.
You're 11-10. You're 2 points out of a playoff spot. Ride it out. Let your guys get healthy. Give the guy a shot.
But again, if it was just an excuse to get rid of the coach, this was that excuse, right? It didn't matter if it was tonight, tomorrow, whenever. They were just trying to get rid of the guy, and there was a loss, and they're like, bye-bye.
Well, this is one thing I've learned.
And the Canucks are doing the exact opposite, no?
Yeah. This is one thing I've learned. It's kind of along Geeta's line of thinking
Okay.
here, but I'm not saying this about the home team by any stretch. This is what I feel, and people are going to disagree with me, and I'm going to get some heat, and that's fine. But here's what I know about hockey people. And I mean by hockey people, I don't mean fans. I mean people in the game. General managers, scouts, coaches, players. All of them, if you've made it to the NHL in any of these capacities, you have a brain that works.
Absolutely.
You're not stupid. Everybody who's making decisions at this level is making decisions for a reason. It's what they think is best at the time, and they're doing what they can with the information that they have. The factor that we don't think about, and this is my point, is that there are people who were very big successes in their lives in other avenues besides professional sports who have become billionaires, and they buy teams. But clearly some of them don't know any more than the average fan does. And it would be just like if any one of us were all of a sudden in charge of a National Hockey League team. We might know real estate, we might know business, and we've made lots of money, but we also might be assholes. And we might tell people who have been in this industry for a really long time how to do their jobs. It's like you're a patient and you're telling your doctor what you want. That's fucking crazy.
Yes.
So this Vinny Viola character, I'm sure he's a smart man because he's clearly made a lot of money. He doesn't know shit about hockey.
And
and he's in charge of a hockey team.
And he's booting out.
And there's other owners who fit that mold.
Yeah.
Right.
And he is doing things like there's nothing wrong with having that approach. If you want to have that mindset and that approach to the game and have that Moneyball kind of atmosphere, but to boot these people out, that you're gonna cause a rift in your locker room. Players aren't gonna want to play for you, and it's just there's other things to worry about other than strictly on ice production, and it's like they are not factoring that in. And it's hockey. It's a different game. It's not baseball, and it's a wait and see project with them, and I'm really curious to see what happens with them.
I still like the new unis. Still like them.
Great uniforms. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
They look fabulous.
So I was thinking about an interesting timeline last week.
Okay.
On November 12th, on Hockey Night in Canada, the Trevor Linden resignation rumors came out, and everybody was up in arms. What's going on? What's going on here? On that following Wednesday, 4 days later, Jake Virtanen was sent back to Utica.
Yeah.
And Willie Desjardins gave his weird, he came here to get his stuff and now he's gone.
Okay.
And 2 days later, they don't trade for Evander Kane. They don't trade to get goal scoring. I'm really starting to think that between that Saturday and that Wednesday, there was a meeting of the minds between ownership, the brass, and they said, you know what, maybe you guys know, maybe we need to stay out of this because things are happening with the Canucks right now that I'm really liking.
Okay.
Troy the Boy Stetcher is playing a lot.
Yeah.
He ain't going back to Utica this year, I'll tell you that. He is staying in Vancouver.
Good for you, Troy.
Nikita Chayamkin is playing a lot, and he's playing well.
Alex Edler is hurt again. Always a plus.
Alex Burrows gets placed with Bo Horvat, and he looks like he's 25. He looks like it's 2008 with him. And I seriously, and the fact that they didn't trade for Evander Kane in a panic to get secondary, more scoring, I really think that the ownership has said, you know what, you guys know what you're doing.
Well, we're not in those rooms, and we don't know for sure. But yes, not trading Evander Kane might have been the best move that Jim Betting and the brass have made all season.
And
don't screw it up. I don't want to wake up tomorrow and see that on the Twitter that you've traded for him now. Don't make me look like an asshole.
Well, now, the rumor mill is saying, the Sabres are going to Comets games as scouts.
Okay.
For what? Who's down there that you would want?
It's probably just the closest team they can get to.
I heard it's down the road, and I heard their stick boys really good.
No, it's exactly what Geeta said. They're not scouting the Comets. They're scouting the away team because it's goddamn just hop and a skip and a jump down the road.
If the Canucks traded somebody
when did the Buffalo Sabres become so fucking lazy?
Look, they're trying to go green. They don't want to burn gas money.
Jeez.
Well, then that's good. They got all these other teams will cycle through.
They got all these AHL teams out west now. It's not like it was in the old day when every team played in upstate New York.
And
well, then they've got that AHL team in China, and it's just
Red Star Kunlun of the KHL playing in front of no people. So I have 9.5 hours in Beijing this year.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to Burma because as one does.
Yeah.
And on my way back, I have 9.5 hours.
When are you going? Can I meet you?
March 2nd. You want to what? You want to meet me in China?
I could meet you in Beijing.
I'll be in Beijing on March 13th.
We will discuss.
We'll discuss
offline.
this for 9 hours. Do we go? I could maybe extend it. Do we go to a Red Star Kunlun game?
We could if we go to the Great Wall.
The puck's on net goes to the cage shell. Ryan, you have to come to China too.
We're so like.
I got a month.
We're gonna Skype it.
I usually got. I could just come. I got a month off.
Geeta and Dave here live in China.
You wouldn't be able to Skype in. The Chinese government would shut that down so quick.
We're watching Magnitogorsk play Red Star Kunlun.
And now the lights are off, and we're being ordered into a van, and that's the end of that.
That's the end of that. Geeta accidentally offended the administration by wearing red. That's our color.
And carrying a hammer and sickle. I don't know.
Fair enough.
The other thing about the Canucks is everybody's getting hurt, and Jake Virtanen is still in Utica.
Yeah.
Yeah, who? I feel like I'm watching that the movie Major League and that scene where they're talking about the players invited.
Who the are these
This
guys?
is okay.
No, it's exactly right, which ties into my timeline.
Let's not panic and bring Jake back. He's not the savior.
I can't get all those jerseys. Magna, Chaput, Labatt.
Darren Archibald's going to be back.
I never heard of half of these guys. Other half are way past their prime.
Mike Keane's coming, getting a call up.
Oh man, is he still on the Moose? He might be.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past
Maybe
him.
Scott Gomez comes out of retirement again.
Brad Reed might be skating.
So
Brandon Reed.
Oh, Brandon, that's right.
Jason King. Who else is a
Bill McCult.
Bill McCult. Who else was a Canuck?
Steve Correa.
Mike Fountain's going to play goal next week.
Brad Isbister. So anyway,
Brandon Proust went to Germany maybe one day too soon.
They would have picked him up.
Hey,
Wasn't he our all-star pick?
Yeah, not anymore.
come on back, Brandon.
We got a job for you. So something happened between Saturday, November
Let's
12th,
still get him in.
and Wednesday, November 16th. That I think
When's Chris Tanev coming back? Because that kind of makes up for Edler being hurt.
that's on the he's on the road to recover. I think he's close.
He's on the mend.
He's on the mend. Yes.
Yeah.
Saw him last week. He looked fine.
But I
walking
mean,
around.
and even like the fact that Philip Larson is not playing,
Yeah.
it just kind of.
Oh, he'll be playing tomorrow.
Well, anybody's playing tomorrow.
I might be playing tomorrow.
I think you are.
I'm in. I know the Wild well. I know how to. I can shut down Zuckerberg or whatever his name is.
The guy who invented Facebook?
That guy. That guy.
Friend of the show, Darren Mahiban, he sparked some serious controversy or some serious buzz.
He
in
got
this
some
town.
cheap heat.
He got
Did he?
the easiest. He went and talked to Jake when the Comets played the Marlies,
Okay.
and I just
Smart move, Darren.
Yeah, he got the low hanging fruit because he's from BC, so he knows. And he goes to talk to Darren, and he goes, honestly, I was just doing what I was told. Virtanen told that the Hockey News on Saturday. I wasn't going to say much, but yeah, I didn't play for a little bit here. 2 games on the road trip against the Islanders and Rangers. Get sent down, played 2 games, and then back to Vancouver. Didn't play, and then sent back to Utica. It's just a business. I know how the things work. I don't know what their plan is. They didn't really communicate with me as much. As for forgetting his stuff, I honestly have no idea, to be honest. I actually still don't understand that, really. And I really think that
Like, I had my Nintendo Classic and my Uggs. I was set.
It's just like when Ovi
I had all my pie.
Yeah, but that's such a kid answer. I know what my mom was talking about. I don't forget nothing.
I don't know what's going on.
I had my schnapps.
I got like 5 pairs of underwear, and then I flip them inside out.
I was going to say, 10 days. You're good. 2 weeks, bud. 2 work weeks.
It's just like, it's I don't know. I think it makes me think that in between those 4 days, they said he's coming down. He's going for 2 to get confidence. He's coming right back in the lineup.
Yeah.
And then they didn't brief Willie on what to say to the media.
Right.
And he's like, oh yeah, he's just going to
get more stuff.
Yeah.
But I can understand that. Yeah, he's here to get more stuff, more clothes, more toiletries, more blah blah blah.
They don't have that shit in Utica.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes you need your own shit.
He's got to take a bus up to Binghamton to get that stuff.
He's got sensitive skin. He needed his loofah.
I don't know if Utica is a 1-street town.
It's not. It's a 2-street town.
Is there a college in Utica?
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
It's up the road. 2 towns over.
2 towns over in North Haverbrook. It's on the monorail.
Okay, this is a guy who's coming from Abbotsford. I'm sure he can figure
I just
this
hope
shit
he
out.
scores a goal and he scores it soon. Go to Utica and actually do something. Put up some goddamn numbers.
That's all we want.
That's all we want for you, Jakey.
Develop.
We want you to be here. We want you to do well.
But it's clear.
So badly.
But at the same time, you can totally tell that the front office is just saying you're staying down there.
Maybe the Canucks should have
And
signed
that's
Radulov.
okay.
I love tough love, so I'm totally okay with him
Yeah.
being down there. What do you think about the Golden Knights? Everything.
I like their logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, the logo's not bad.
I like the colors.
I can even kind of get on board with the shitty name. There have been worse names, like
what?
Wild and Blue
Golden
Jackets.
Knights. Like, what happened to all the other colors
So
of
they
the
have
rainbow?
To, they have to honor stuff that you pay for in Vegas. So
Well,
Golden Shower.
Because if they had gone like Silver Knights, it would have looked a lot like a King's logo.
Yes, it would. But just think of like the potential headlines. Canucks give the Golden Knights the Golden Shower. Like
Stay golden, Knights.
Yeah, but the worst part of the whole thing is the dropping of the loss. Who was in that fucking meeting?
What do you
Seriously?
mean? The dropping of the what?
They're not
loss. It's the Vegas Golden Knights.
It reminds
That's
me of
awful. That's
Maybe it's
awful.
because there's a V in that Knight's helmet and they couldn't get an L. They're like, we can't put an L in a V. We're just gonna go Vegas.
$500 million for an expansion fee. You got to cut budget somewhere.
Yeah,
But seriously, like, how
it's-
does that happen? It's that
arena football.
No, but
Expansion
this
fees have skyrocketed.
this city has been begging for a major professional sports franchise for years.
Yeah.
Hockey's the next best thing.
Yeah.
So they finally get one, and I'm using air quotes. You can't see a major league franchise in Las Vegas. And to
Hey,
represent the
it's a-
city, it's a great chance for you to be the flag bearer of that city. Yes,
Las
we are
fucking
we are
Vegas.
Las fucking Vegas' team. And what do? They fuck up the name of the city.
Vegas.
Are you goddamn kidding me?
Is there
It's colloquial.
no, it's late. It's
The
just
Vegas Golden Knights. It sounds like a lounge singer.
they might as well. It's the equivalent of spelling Knights with a Z.
It's like the Vancouver Canucks.
Oh,
Van
Yikes.
City Canucks.
there you go.
Van City.
No.
You only call it Van City if you're from east of boundary.
The East Van Canucks.
So if you're not from Vancouver.
Like
Van City,
seriously,
bitch.
you had one job. Also, you need to learn about codecs and video file formatting.
Oh, yeah. If you want to watch some bad TV, because
Okay.
they did a Facebook Live of their unveil. The thing was screwing up. They had the wrong graphic up. At one point, it just said Vegas hockey placeholder graphic. It was bad. Well, you got,
No, it's bad. It's bad. Maybe they just thought it was too many words. Las Vegas Golden Knights.
you understand it's bad because all their money went to paying that $500 million expansion fee.
Yeah. Which, again,
And they got all that
is
Jason-
astronomical. Wasn't the last expansion fee like $80 million?
They got all that Jason Spezza free agent money set aside in a pool.
God, he's going to look so good in black and gold
He's gonna be getting out of that pool though all the time. He needs to get some hair plugs going.
at the Mirage.
You look extra bald when your hair is wet, when your hair is thinning. I know.
Jason Spezza has a residency at Treasure Island.
Oh, that treasure. No, it'd be at
Ooh, I
some
have-
Disney resort.
I have this toothbrush. You should get it.
Oh, is it good?
It's very good.
What's your dental hygiene like?
It takes me 12 minutes to do the whole thing front to back.
You got a bad cavity
Really?
situation?
No, I just it's when you become an adult,
Yeah.
and even when you have good insurance, that 12 minutes a night saves you lots of money.
I've got perfect teeth, and I just use a standard old toothbrush that costs me like $2.
There are people like that.
Yeah.
Mrs. Dave is like that too. She uses a standard toothbrush. She doesn't put too much effort into it. She's got perfectly straight, wonderful teeth.
Yeah.
Me, I got the water pick.
Really?
Cool.
I got the Sonicare. I got the high end satin floss. And if I stay on top of it, it's good. If I let it slide, I get the drill. It's one of those things.
How many cavities have you had?
In my life?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, how many cavities have you had?
I haven't had a cavity in a long, long time. I'm
I've-
also missing like 8 teeth.
I got 3 fillings
Because of that
last week.
fight?
Small mouth.
You got hit in the face with that pipe that time, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good.
I stay away from back alleys.
I've never had a cavity.
Really? Ever? In your whole
Ever
life?
in my life. And I've
had like 20 million.
I've only had my mouth frozen once.
I had 2 fillings last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Dave.
And
no,
like
usually I get the wow, there's no build up. What the fuck? I'm like, yeah.
Geeta lives off of Apothic Red, which is full of antioxidants.
Here's my quick
She eats
Apothic.
saltine crackers.
Here's my quick Apothic red line. It's because of the effect that we have on the general public. I was at a birthday gathering for a friend of mine and a listener of the show, and he pulls the Apothic Red out from under the bar. He's like, "Hey Ryan, check that out." Hey. So naturally, Apothic Red needs to sponsor the podcast.
Maybe we should start peddling something good. People have something good in the house to service.
Oh, I'd love. You know what? I would if a transmission shop sponsored this podcast, I'd be happy.
Pucks on Net supports Writer's Tears Irish whiskey. Writer's Tears.
That is good whiskey.
It's got a real nice finish.
I think. You know, you brought up. I just wanted to touch on a couple things here.
And then I gotta get to stepping. I gotta get back to the office.
You go, and Dave or Paul, what's his face, and I will just answer questions from.
Oh no! If
listeners.
we make it 5 minutes, I got 5 minutes.
Okay.
Hey, I'm talking crusty.
I really like what you brought up last week with the Blue Jackets, and I did a little bit of digging about their success that is not really talked about.
That they're doing well.
Maybe we shouldn't jinx them, and they can be our team.
Tortorella-
We'll sponsor them.
Tortorella's gonna make them great again, and he's gonna win the Jack Adams Award.
Ooh,
2016 is the year of the dickhead. It's officially the year of the dickhead and the beloved celebrity death.
I can't wait to get out
So
of this
Tom
year.
Hanks is gonna get shot by the cannon at the Columbus Blue Jackets game. When they score the game-winning goal in the Stanley Cup final,
Who's the captain now?
Making John Tortorella a 2-time Stanley Cup champion coach. That's going to be the most 2016 thing that could ever happen.
Are we over the buzz of the Jack Adams Award?
What do you mean, buzz?
It's a kiss of death.
It's not coming to Vancouver, so it's all good.
No, but like it's not the who's the best coach. It's the who did the best with a pile of shit.
Yeah, who made chicken salad with chicken shit?
Because Bob Artley won it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I forget who won it last.
I know,
year.
like Joel Quenneville should win it every year, but he doesn't.
Exactly, and it's like it's almost a pity award. And
One year they gave it to Belichick just because.
I like your hoodie.
Yeah, he showed up at the Wars with a hoodie.
Yeah, videotaping all those Boston Bruins opponents' practices really paid off.
But like when Alain Vigneault won it in 06-07, it was because the Canucks, we have no clue what their team is. Here, and they made the playoffs
Was
here.
that the year they made the Bertuzzi trade?
They got Taylor Pyatt
before.
20 goals that
Oh,
year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And so it's like that's one of the arguments of Gerard Gallant is, he was a finalist for the Jack Adams
If he
Award.
wins it this year.
for that 11-10-1 record.
I liked his Uber rating, his review of the guy who drove him away from the PNC Arena. Very clean car, Audi A8. Knew I didn't want to make small talk. Didn't make small talk. Had the want ads in the back of the car. It was nice.
It's cute.
One of the couple times I took Uber when I was in San Francisco.
Didn't want to talk numbers with me.
I talked sneakers with him about basketball shoes.
Who? Your Uber driver?
Yeah.
Gallant.
Yeah, and but I'm like, this guy does not know where I don't know San Francisco downtown on a Saturday night, but he did not know San Francisco downtown on a Saturday night at all. And I'm like, you don't know where you're going, pal.
It's not cool.
Anyway, the Blue Jackets, they have the best, somehow with Tortorella on board, they have the best power play in the NHL. At 28.3%. The average is 17.9%.
That's a good power play.
And they're fourth in NHL scoring, 3.1 goals a
That's
game.
really impressive.
But here's the most impressive thing.
That it took this expansion team 16 years to be good.
Have they been around that long?
Yeah, since
I'm old.
2000. Well, yeah, because you remember like 2001 was the B era.
Yeah, they came in like a year or two after Nashville, something like that. They're
Yeah.
expansion
was,
cousins or whatever you call
Gilbert
them.
Brule was in the NHL that long ago.
Yeah, man.
He was drafted. Yeah, he was an 01 or 02 draftee.
I had a very civil conversation with one Craig Button on Twitter through the Pucks on Net account.
Yeah, I was watching that happen live.
What? I missed it.
Because he did the mock draft and he built the team.
Yeah.
And it is so stereotypical expansion teamy.
Okay.
You know, Lance Boma could be the captain.
That is expansion team.
Marc-Andre.
Was Andrew Brunette not available?
He was still on the Wild.
Was
I
Ron
think.
Tugnut not available?
He and
Wait, weren't Tugnut and Damian Rhodes their goaltending tandem?
I'm pretty sure, but
Those guys are about as expansion gets.
Yes, they
Marc-Andre
are.
Fleury is expected to be the Knights
Golden
goalie.
Knights coach.
And-
Good fit for him.
So I just tweeted like that's the most stereotypical expansion team ever.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, actually, it's very interesting because they have to carry 20 contracts that go through 2017, 2018.
Okay.
And like I was kind of like being, I don't know, being a little salty with
Yeah,
them.
that's very interesting.
And I was like, no. What I'm saying is, no matter how you slice it, this team is totally underwhelming, just like every expansion team in the last 10 years. He's like, oh yeah, I agree. So, not a very good team.
$500 million does not buy you a playoff spot, probably.
Yeah. Well, not a Jason Spezza captain team.
Maybe if you used the entire name of your city, you would have got a better hockey team.
We can still call them that.
I'm calling them the Quebec Nordiques.
Sure.
You should call the Florida Panthers that.
No, you should call the Carolina Hurricanes that. You know what their attendance was the other night?
46.
12.
8,414.
There's going to be more people at the Pucks and Net Christmas party.
There might be. There's be more people in line trying to get into the Lamplighter on a Saturday night.
Oh yeah, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Do you guys hear about Garrett Sparks getting suspended?
Yeah.
Who's that?
What? I didn't take the showdown. I heard about that, and he was just for threatening to beat up a cyberbully.
Yeah, he was
That's Melania Trump's portfolio.
Yeah, so I mean, Melania Trump will give Garrett Sparks, Orlando Solar Bear alumni, like the Medal of Honor because in a Facebook group about goaltending, some people were making fun of a special needs person.
Yeah.
And Garrett Sparks said he wanted to take him to a beer league game or a beer league skate and beat the shit out of him so he can't run his bitchy little mouth.
Right.
And the Marlies or the Maple Leafs suspended him for that. It's a very admirable reason to shoot your mouth off, but yeah not the most professional. That's like when James Van Riemsdyk was challenging people to fight on Instagram. Not the best idea.
Yeah, you should probably stay away from the internet if you're
social
even.
media.
Yeah, but Garrett Sparks, that almost makes you my dude of the week.
Yeah, who cares? Like they're gonna say you're a bad boy.
My dude of the week is Bo Horvat, just for being him.
Oh,
Bo be Bo.
best player on the Canucks.
Current Dave McPhail man crush right there. Love Bo Horvat.
Really?
Yeah, bud.
How about Benny Hutton with his?
I'm over it. His gummy face. I
Oh
can't
my god,
stand
I'll take
it.
it.
so gummy. He got his contract and then Ben Hutton gets the reasonable contract extension.
Yes. Horvat's going to get a lot more, and I'll tell you, it sends a good message. They should not bridge contract Bo.
Not worth it. It's not worth it.
Give him a long-term deal. Throw the C on him when Sedin.
So
goes
speaking
back to
of
Moto.
contracts, what about Brent Burns?
I like it. He ain't going to deteriorate.
No, yeah, I'm with you on this
He's
one.
going to be defense. He's going to be
he's
serviceable.
solid.
Yeah.
He is a big freak.
He doesn't look breakable, right?
No, knock on wood.
I've
I'm
been
all-
knocking on wood all night.
Well,
Her neighbors are going to think that someone's delivering pizzas to the door.
That's cool. No, I'm
you'll have a birthday
I'm
cake?
with Dave. Like Brent Burns doesn't seem like he's the type of guy that contract is gonna bog him down.
Let me just say this: he's got a big body,
Do you think
6'5", 250 pounds, great beard.
that's pure? It's what you want.
He's a good-looking guy.
He's a horrible looking guy.
Oh, no, I disagree.
I'm into him hiding under that hair.
He's ugly cute.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
There's a great photo of him and Joe Thornton wandering around Pittsburgh during the finals on a day off with their shirts off.
Collecting change.
They
'cause
look like
homeless.
two homeless.
That's
And
the
yet that's so endearing.
That's the thing. You gussy both of them up though in their dream boats. Like you have to be good looking to pull that off.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, no, I like it a lot. I think it's a good signing. I know it goes against Sharks protocol. They usually don't do this.
You
kind
gotta
of
lock
stuff.
him up.
But
Yeah, you gotta
I
lock
think
him up.
this is a guy who's deserving, and I'm surprised to hear he's only 31.
He's not.
He just feels like he's been around Minnesota very long.
He's not. He's not a replaceable player. He's very unique, like Bufflin. Like
Yeah.
he does so many unique things. He's such a hybrid that it's not like you could lose him and then sign him for somebody else. Like you can't replace
No.
a Brent Burns.
You can replace him with
Yeah.
and that's why they drafted Ole Ulevy.
Can we wrap this up?
Or you can take
You
off.
can go.
Okay.
We'll- we will
this,
carry on.
this was a featuring Dave podcast.
Well, there's one. I'll leave you with this. Corey Bananas asks if each of you were a sandwich, what would you be?
I'd be a peanut butter and jam.
Oh, no way.
I'm quick. I'm dirty. I'm efficient, and most people are allergic to me.
Because I've got to answer some questions. I think my paycheck depends on it.
Oh.
Yeah, I got to get back to the
All
office.
right, well, we'll just keep talking. I'll just turn your mic off.
Horrible DC.
Carry
movies
on,
don't
wayward
make
son.
themselves. I will.
Shout out to Dave for making it over. It was beautiful.
I got to go talk about textures on metal. I'm not
Oh.
kidding. It's my thing tonight. All right, bye.
Bye. So as we watch this football game,
Yeah.
I got a question for you.
Yeah?
It comes from loyal listener and local Vancouver celebrity.
Sure.
Yeah, Lindsay Houghton.
Okay.
He wants to know, who do we think would win the championship first? Raptors or Maple Leafs?
Oh, Jesus. I don't know how much time we have to wait that one out.
So moving on.
It would be the Maple Leafs.
Really?
I think they figured things out. And the Raptors...
What if they won the same year? That would be god-awful.
Let me just bring that mic back up for you.
It's going to be the Maple Leafs because there's no super teams in the NHL.
Yeah.
Like, they're never going to get through LeBron, and they're never going to get through
Curry.
Beautiful Steph Curry, my other man crush.
Well, he's beautiful.
Yeah.
He rains threes and looks dreamy.
Yeah.
What was your next question?
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Best redheaded goalie in the NHL.
Oh, it's Corey Schneider.
Corey Hirsch?
Corey Hirsch wasn't that good of a goalie. He had a good mask, but that's about it. Do you have
And why haven't there been more gingers on the show?
on this show?
That's a silly question.
And as a daywalker, I can't say that I am a ginger. So
No.
I don't think we've had a ginger on the show.
No.
That's a very unusual question to ask.
Our golden aces are not gingers.
No.
Oh, sorry, bud. You've had a ginger on the show. Who? Hunter Shinkarik.
Oh.
Dave with an encyclopedic knowledge.
Well done.
Yerky21 asks, now pushed back alphabetically because of the Vegas thing. Should the Canucks go to the whole hog and become BC to be top 3?
God, no.
We can move him to
We don't. Okay, hang on. We don't represent like Williams Lake or
Oh, no, Williams Lake. That's fine.
Really?
Nanaimo.
Really?
No, we don't represent Nanaimo.
We definitely don't represent Prince George.
We are all Canucks.
If you look at it from the standpoint, all the most hated teams in the NHL.
Yeah.
All the most hated teams in the NHL are named after states. Minnesota,
Colorado.
Arizona.
Are we the Vancouver Canucks? Are we the Vancouver Canucks of British Columbia?
Yes.
Just do the Leaf. Bye.
See you, Dave.
I understand that the Leafs represent the universe.
Yes. The British Columbia Canucks would be the most hated team ever. The BCC. And as we were talking about the Islanders game, long-time listener of the show, Andrew Paddock, he has the first Pucks on Net shirt. Andrew from the Bronx, who I casually name dropped as just saying, oh, he's mentioned on Twitter before.
Yeah.
And sometimes you think that you don't interact with these people every week on social media, so maybe they're not listening.
Yeah.
But we mentioned his name.
Okay.
He chimes in. Good pod this week. Surprised the Isles talk didn't go into our woes this season. There isn't nothing new on the arena front, just plans for Queens and Nassau and an idea of, I think, playing some games in the Collie or putting the AHL team there. Nassau Coliseum.
Wait, what? 2 rinks? 3 rinks? I'm confused by what Andrew's telling me.
About potentially building a rink in Queens,
Yeah.
a fancier Nassau, or maybe playing a couple games in the Nassau Coliseum.
So just moving this team around?
Yeah, like a floozy.
That's pretty Islanders to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was very endearing.
Just put your team in Jersey.
Just be the away team. Be
The
like
Jersey Devils.
Or just being the Montreal Expos in 2003 when they played half the games in Puerto Rico. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. I thought they had a team.
The Islanders could just be an away team.
The perpetual away team.
Yes.
We'll play in your arena. Come and see us.
Exactly.
That should be their slogan.
So that being said, with when we think of longtime listeners of the podcast and the fact that Andrew chimed in like that, then I'll have to say to the next person I want to chime in,
right,
to make sure they're still listening, is Pilar out of Southern California.
Hello.
And so I want to make sure that she chimes in. Anyway, so those Islanders are terrible this year. They're the last team in the NHL, and I'm not sure.
Are the Canucks second last?
No, the Canucks, because they beat the Colorado Avalanche. A mouthful. Yeah. They shot up the standings. The Islanders won in OT, which is terrible for me.
They shot up.
They shot up, so I don't think they're the worst team anymore.
Is this the worst season in NHL history?
For who?
For the league? I actually thought that first or second year with the Ottawa Senators was the worst year ever.
I think that
when they won 3 games or whatever it was.
But you're saying from a league standpoint?
Yeah, I'm talking about from a league standpoint.
There's got to be a dead puck year where the Dallas Stars played the Devils in the finals and nobody was good.
Yes, I understand this. But this
year is not very good.
No.
There is a weird changing of the guard where the young kids are good, not great.
Yeah.
The old guys are great, but not that good anymore.
I think 2016, we're ready for you to go.
I think that 2016's over.
Yeah, fuck you, 2016.
Question from Jeff Nuck. New roommate has a Mark Messier jersey. Don't know how
burn it.
Well, don't know how I handled the situation. Please advise. Geeta says burn it. I say,
or just hide it.
If it's a Canucks. If it's a Canucks Messier jersey.
Oh, definitely. That's got bad juju.
What about Oilers? Oilers is okay?
You know what? We were so young then. We hardly remember Messier as an Oiler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything Messier post Oilers is bad.
Yeah, burnable.
Yeah, because it's not like we respect a Messier New York jersey. It's the Apothecrat is finally kicking in.
Geeta's brain is at regular speed and her mouth is at slow motion.
Yeah, that.
I really like how this podcast worked out. Game time decisions. Mike Paris, who they've gone 2 weeks without an episode, and I'm a little upset with them.
We're due for our hiatus.
Yeah, our hiatus comes up December 10th.
2 more episodes, I would think.
Yeah, and then the 4th annual Pucksnet Christmas party.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good one. There's gonna be pucks on mistletoe.
A doozy. Are we playing pucks on bottle or
7 minutes and pucks on heaven? It's gonna be a real great 11 party. He asks when Ryan Beach, also of Game Time Decision and Canucks Army, when he leaves me to coach the Panthers.
Yeah,
the Senators, they don't like fancy stats. Will you guys adopt me? There's a long line, pal. A lot of people want us to adopt them. Yeah. We appreciate it. Maybe
our roster is stacked.
Yeah, we gotta. It's not an expansion draft here.
No,
but we're you know what? We appreciate it. Never say never.
You are perpetually in our Utica.
Tim Bowery, Bowrey, Bowrey. He asked which Canuck gets picked up by the Golden Knights in the expansion draft and thoughts on the name.
Well, defenseman number 1, Spiza.
Yeah, Lucas Spiza will likely go, and even though he's had a good year this year, I'm perfectly fine with him going.
Yeah.
I think the name is dumb. It didn't work for the California Golden Seals, and it's not going to work for the Vegas Golden.
Is it the gold?
It's the gold.
Pick a different color.
I just don't think. I think that if
go with the red black Knights.
I mean, if there can be a New York Rangers and a Kitchener Rangers, there can be a London Knights and a Golden Knights and a Vegas Knights.
And the 2 Rangers teams are a lot closer together geographically than the Knights are.
And they wear the same jersey.
Really, an NHL expansion, an NHL team that's just dropped $500 million is threatened by a CHL team in the middle of nowhere, Ontario?
Exactly.
Yeah. Come on.
Just be Knights. And I hope maybe in a couple of years they are.
It's like all the teams that are named Rough Riders in every league across the world.
There's 9 of them in Canada.
Yeah. Like the 12 red-black teams out there. Everyone's a fucking giant.
There's a Rod Black. There's a Rod Blacks.
We're all Canucks. You could probably have just gotten the name Knights.
They probably could have gotten the name Canucks for all that matter. Anyway, that'll wrap it up for this week's podcast, which was hastily put together, but I think turned out quite well. Make sure you You can subscribe wherever you get podcasts. We're just about everywhere, Geeta. That's right.
Everywhere. iTunes, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio,
Google Play Music.
Google, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
YouTube.
If you text one of us, we'll send you the link.
That's the only thing we text back. Christmas is coming around the corner. If you want to give us a gift, a rating and review in the iTunes store is the best possible thing.
A positive. And a Yelp review.
Yeah, we Yelp review. And Apothic Red, which I'm sure is still listening. We want the sponsorship.
Send us a case.
Same with Brazzers, who are well-known fans of Geeta. Send us some porno, and then we'll... I don't know. I don't think I have that.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's 2016. Let's be honest.
I'm down with it.
A DVD. A VHS.
We're not selfish here.
We're not the Dallas Stars.
No.
So make sure you follow us on Twitter, Pucksnet, CA, PucksNetCa. And I would say closing remarks. Watch if you have Game Center. We have Geeta's Game Center. Watch the Florida Panthers in the upcoming weeks and see what happens with them.
Mm-hmm.
And don't be so cynical about fancy stats. And don't be so cynical about traditional hockey minds.
Does Willie make it through Christmas? Oh, you can't break up with him now.
He's not bad. Yeah, Christmas is you gotta have.
This is a grace period.
Yeah, you gotta have to go to parties together.
Yeah.
You don't want to be.
So you've got to do it between January 10th and January 29th, and then you get into Valentine's Day. So Vancouver, if you're listening.
Rock, move,